Hi everybody, happy Monday night. I'm Jem and I'm one half of the Mystic Mages. And thanks for joining into our pink moon party, you guys. We're so excited about this upcoming full moon. It's coming to us this Friday, the 19th. So this is going to be the second full moon in a row in Libra, which is very, very unusual, guys. This doesn't usually happen very often. So this is going to be a really powerful moon, really exciting time. It's springtime. We're in Aries season. There's all this wonderful energy coming at us right now, so we're really excited to talk to you guys tonight. We love doing these moon parties. We're going to be pulling some cards tonight. We're going to be talking about what's going on in the energy forecast. A lot of really exciting things to look forward to, and as usual, we are still going to be coming at you tomorrow night for our regular Tarot Tuesday spot. So stay tuned, guys. There's a lot of really, really fun things in the works. Me and Mary have been working hard behind the scenes on some really cool stuff that's coming at you. And I'm bringing her in right now. So just getting my beautiful counterpart. Now, how you're feeling tonight, guys? Shout it out in the comments how everybody's doing tonight. We're all feeling with these energy shifts. And there she is.
Hi.
Hi, beautiful. How you
Hi.
doing?
I have you can't really see it, but I have my pink moon for everyone. I'll try and like be over here so that I can be
Oh,
close to it.
I love that. That's perfect.
I had to pink it up. I got the necklace, the lipstick. I had to do the moon. It's all a piece. You know what I mean? You got to coordinate with your moons.
I love it, girl. You looking good. You looking good, girl. Real good.
Thanks. I'm so excited. This moon is such an exciting moon. There's so much going on, so much kind of energy going on. I'm really excited for it.
Me too. I was just telling everybody in my little intro when I was waiting for you, like I'm just so stoked. This is so rare that we get like a double Libra full moon in a
Right.
row. And
Right.
like this is some shit, man. Like this is powerful. There's some really cool things that are about to happen that we're like right on the threshold of. And I don't think anybody even fully realizes how impactful it's going to be.
No, it's a really interesting time. There's a lot of things going on in kind of astrology that are going to be going on for like the next 6 months. It's a very impactful time. It's a time where there's a lot going on, but it also like is this really kick-ass time. I don't know. I'm jazzed. That's the word like I'm using. I'm friggin' jazzed, man. I'm having a great time. I'm really enjoying the energy that's going on now. And I'm just ready for like what's coming on this moon because it's a big one.
It is a big one, and I'm with you. I feel jazz too. I feel that like super energetic Aries energy going on. Like you were saying last week, I've just been like cleaning everything like a
Clean.
mad woman. Like just I've never been so happy to clean. Like I'm channeling my inner Danny Tanner that I didn't even truly know was there, guys. So it's feeling good right now. So lots of shifts, lots of big changes. Like you said with astrology, the planets have been doing some really interesting stuff. We have Jupiter in retrograde right now, which, unlike Mercury retrograde and many of the other retrogrades, is actually a really wonderful transit for us. This is good for us, guys. Like, actually, Jupiter retrograde just kind of focus us on like what exactly we want to be doing. There, it's kind of that adventurer spirit. Like Jupiter rules Sagittarius, who's like the wanderer, the adventurer, like all that good stuff. So we're in a place where we're kind of able to tune into what we really want, what we really need, and we're going to have like a real nice solid push like over these next few months to really accomplish the things that are our big things. You know, we are always talking about like creating this life of our dreams, and this is the time to do it. We're going to have Jupiter in retrograde until August. Like the next several months are going to be really productive, really exciting, and just really positive, guys. Like this is what we've been waiting for.
Yes, it's a really exciting time. I'm really excited for it. I really just can't wait to dive in. Thank you all for joining us for this new moon. You guys, you know, there's a lot of words around the new moon, or the full moon, excuse me. I've been doing that all day. It's a full moon, and this full moon is going to happen on the 19th. So we're a few days out. We're doing this early so that you guys can really get in the energy because the energy of the full moon is at least 3 days in advance and at least 3 days after. And with such a powerful moon, it's up to 5 days in advance and 5 days after. So it's an absolute wonderful time to kind of dive into this moon. So the moon is actually going to be in full in Libra on the 19th. And now this is also called the pink moon. And the reason it's called the pink moon is because the flowers that you see this time of year. The first flower that really comes to bloom is usually a pink flower. I can't remember the name of what flower it is. I probably should know that, but I don't. It's a pink one. So that's why kind of the native people and the more earthy people kind of named the moons in the past, named it the pink moon. So that's why we have the beautiful pink moon. And I love the color. I'm super excited for this. I couldn't be happier because it's really that moon of spring. It's really that moon of kind of that renewed energy and that renewed excitement that I think we're all so excited about and so excited to embrace.
Absolutely. Even in New Jersey, we're finally starting to get a little bit of warm weather. The cherry trees are in bloom. There's all these cherry tree festivals going on right now.
Yeah.
Another beautiful pink flower. And
Mm-hmm.
even today, I was so excited. I saw that my lily that I bought last year is starting to like regrow again now. So
Nice.
I don't have any little buds or anything yet, but I do have a lot of greenery and it is just shooting up like crazy. And I mean, we're right about to be at Easter. It's always like the Easter lily
Mm-hmm.
because, it always comes back. It resurrects itself every year, and it is that flower of purity and gentleness. And there are lots of pink lilies out there as well, too. So really cool just to kind of see like where we're at right now. Like lilies are really strongly tied with the moon, too. So it's like interesting that as we're like right about to hit this full moon, I like started finally getting all this action from my lily.
That's nice. I'm glad it's out here. I have like a lilac bush that's almost like it's not in bloom, but it's getting a lot of leaves. That's really the first one because we had some snow. So depending on like the season, I think different plants, different flowers, but everyone's feeling the same thing. Even in the mountains here in Colorado, like I see flowers, I can resonate with what you're talking about. It's that spring, that rebirth, and that word that you really use, that resurrection. I think that is a really interesting word for this moon and kind of the word that I'm embracing for this moon. So go ahead and jump into a little bit, but I think this is kind of the word of the moon and something exciting we're going to dive into.
Absolutely. I think there's all kinds of rebirth and just new energy coming in right now. We have this second full moon in a row in Libra, which is such an unusual thing. This is really, really rare for this to happen. And I love Libra. I'm in Aquarius, so Libra is like one of my fellow air signs. I really love Libra people, and Libra is all about balance, right? You always see the scales pictured when you think about Libra. I always think of the Justice card in the tarot, where you see him, he's holding the sword in one hand and he's holding the scales in the other hand, and they're always nice and even keeled and balanced. And I just feel like now we have this like double dose of energy just kind of balancing things out. This is like a reset of the scales. This is kind of like that fresh clean slate, that true rebirth in a sense, where we're closing out certain karmic cycles, certain soul contracts, certain things from past lives and whatever kind of karma we've accumulated in this life. We're getting to a point where we're seeing all these really unique shifts. And this Libra energy is going to come in there and just kind of place that balance into our lives that maybe we've been feeling a little off kilter. As we've been saying in our, more recent videos, there's been a lot of stagnancy where I think a lot of us were feeling a little stuck or a little unbalanced, where we were feeling like certain sides of our lives, the scales were not really, evening out at all. They were kind of tipping the scales in certain areas. And now we're about to see everything shift, and it's going to be really unique because, I mean, the unfortunate part is that, change hurts a little bit sometimes. So, as a result, in order for us to have this resurrection and this rebirth and all of this beautiful new in energy really coming in at us, there are going to be certain things that have to change. There's going to be certain things that have to go. And I think for a lot of us now with this Aries energy, like I feel like this is like the kick in the ass that everyone has needed. If like you haven't been feeling like you're fully ready, if certain things, there's been a little lack of clarity because we were really still in the Mercury retrograde shadow until today's last day, really. Tomorrow's the first day that we are finally out of that Mercury retrograde shadow. So there's been some fogginess. There's been some questions, there's been confusion, there's been, I feel like this big change is coming. I feel like I'm on the threshold of something, but it's not happening. Nothing's happening yet. And I don't know what I want to happen. I don't know which way I want to go. And this is going to be that like kick in the balls that everybody needs, where it's like, even if you're not totally sure, like the universe is going to wake you up real quick and let you know, oh, it's this.
Definitely. And I have a little visual for everyone. Jem and I have been working on a secret project, and it's a astrology coloring book. And it's going to be coming out very soon. I don't want to give it all away yet, but we have a beautiful sheet here that is the Libra. And just so you guys can see these scales, this is what we're talking about when we talk about Libra. Harmony and balancing scales. That's what they're all about. As the sheet will tell you, they're balanced and fair. That's what Libras are about. They're about balance and really finding that peace and in between. So it's a beautiful moon to be a part of. Who doesn't want a peaceful moon? I mean, we all do. We pray for peaceful moons. But when you're in that kind of energy, a lot of times it's really interesting because I feel like a lot of times you can get complacent in that energy. Everything's going all right. I can pay my bills. Things are good. The relationship's okay. I'm feeling pretty healthy. We can really get in that kind of comfort zone and not push to our actual goals, because you want to keep pushing to really achieve what you're going after. Don't get stuck in that almost there, because we're almost there. We're so friggin' close. We've done so much work. We're starting to get some of those rewards. We found this kind of great place of balance where everything's working for us, but let's not get stuck there. We need to kind of push ourselves forward in this energy. And like you said, Aries energy is kicky there straight in the nuts. This energy is like, let's go. We're not fucking around. It's time to kind of go forward. And I'm excited about that energy because that's what you need. And as you said too, Jupiter kind of being back a little bit is so nice, because Jupiter, I always think of, there's this beautiful song, The Symphony of Planets, that Jupiter is the jovial one. So it's one about partying and having fun and eating grapes, and sometimes it's nice to pause that energy a little bit because that can be a little bit lazy too. So we're pausing that energy. We have motivation, we have balance, and we have the ability and the drive to go forward. What more could you want in a moon?
Seriously, I feel like we can only go up from here, and there might be certain shakeups, there might be certain tower sort of moments that happen in order to get us there, because certain things really need to fall away. I think for a lot of us, we've been experiencing that already. I think really ever since this new year and everything with the 3 supermoons in a row, I think we've steadily been seeing that happening in our lives in different capacities. And I think now with this moon, it's just going to be that like kick in the ass, that like, oh, whoa, like this was the big shift that I knew was about to happen. There's just so many things that are going on that are going to be changing that are going to be falling away. So that way we're really able to be our truest self, our most authentic self, really shaping the life that we've been trying to for so long, where we've been stuck in these other energies for so long. Now it's going to be like, oh, you're not ready yet? Tough shit. Like, it's happening.
You wanted this.
Exactly. So I think everybody needs to like brace themselves a little bit, because it is going to be a little bit of a kick in the pants, and in the best way, So I think that my advice to everybody is to just prepare themselves this week, really kind of take stock in, what we're trying to manifest, what our intentions are, what we're trying to let go of, especially at a full moon. It's always a really good time to always try to focus on what we're letting go of as well, and reflect on what we've manifested, up to this point. So it's always going to be a little bit of both, but I think we're going to be seeing this really big shift where, we kind of need this rest period a little bit, because it's about to get so active, like so active, and like that can throw us off balance, and that's where that Libra energy that's coming in is really going to help us and really going to work to our benefit to help us keep that balance through these times of change.
Absolutely. We're going to need it. This rest period, I really feel, is a time that we're really reconnecting to ourselves and finding not self-love, but being in love with ourselves. There's a big, big difference. You can have self-love and go get pedicures and still want to chop your feet off because they're hideous. Those are two separate things. Self-love is looking at your snaggle toes and still loving who you are and knowing that they don't define you. It's winter. It's coming out of winter. I need a pedicure. This is fresh on my mind. But that's honestly what's happening. You need this time to really fall in love with yourself again. In the sense where you look at yourself, you're like, girl, guy, like let's like you're hot. Like I forgot who you were. And it's that new
Hell
energy. It's
yeah.
really bringing in love of yourself and really having those moments that you love yourself, because that's the missing ingredient. Up to this time, we're doing the work, we're doing everything that we need to. And now is the time where we're pausing a little bit in this full moon, taking a little bit of time to focus on how far we've gotten and really see how badass we are, excuse me, and really loving ourselves for that. Because like I said at the beginning, the word is resurrection. And yes, there's a religious element to it. You know, we all know what's going on. Religious, there's Easter, Jesus died and he rose, whether you believe it or not. It's really that resurrection story is true in your life too. There's a time that, you have suffered, you have put all of it out there. You've tried to lead people, you've been trying to put your mission out there, and people are hating on you. And you have literally died on the cross for what you believe in the past, trying to hold true to yourself. And this is a time of rest and reflection. And then you're going to rise up like a friggin' phoenix and just like destroy it. Yes, when Jesus came back and knocked on the door, I guess they had doors back then, people were a little bit scared because that's a big change coming back from the dead. That's not something that they expected, even though it was written or whatever. But it's something that was a little bit jarring. And that's what this energy is. It's going to be a little bit of jarring, but it's going to be that kind of kick in the ass to move you forward. And I'm super excited about that, because when you're in your power, magic stuff starts happening. Guys, once you kind of know what you're going after and you're in your strength, it's going to move so fast. It's going to be unbelievable.
It's really exciting time. We've got, like you said, all this Aries fire to kind of like lend a hand and really lighten that fire under our asses to kind of get us going. And then we're going to be shifting over into Taurus season. And
Yeah.
Taurus is, an earth sign, very grounded, very practical, but also just like super focused,
Mhm.
like this is what we're doing. Let's do it right now. Like organized, like a real thinker. Like it's very smart energy. It's very practical, grounded energy where, we're going to be kind of like taking that fiery energy that's getting kindled with this Aries season and then grounding it in with this Taurus energy to really kind of give us that balance that we're going to need for moving forward. So it's like we've got the momentum, and it's going to set us up for success into this really balanced, smart, intelligent energy that's going to kind of carry us through into the summer.
Strong energy too. You don't want to be in a crappy mood now and have things kind of disoriented and then go into this bull energy who's just like carrying you to the finish line. That doesn't sound fun. I was listening to something that it really inspired me, because it said, just to summarize it, that energy moves whether you want it to or not. So don't you want to tell it what to do? You don't want to sit in misery. You don't want to just sit and let it happen. Even if you're someone who's not huge into manifesting your dreams and you're just kind of finding us and you're not sure what to go on, just putting some positive focus around this energy and this time of what your small goals are is totally something you have. They don't have to be life changing. You don't have to have a whole life makeover. You could just go after small goals, just trying to write the next chapter of your book, or just trying to like eat lunch like a human at work. All of those things are really good goals to go after in this moon, but you want that moon to really set up the stage for the Taurus energy to just knock the bull crap out of the way and just headstrong into your dreams. So now is the time to really, really decide what you want. Knowing yourself, knowing who you are, really helps you make that decision.
Absolutely. And with this Libra energy too, it is all about being fair, being balanced, being just. So this is about being
Mhm.
fair to ourselves, being fair to those around us, but also really ultimately at the end of the day, being fair to ourselves, keeping our own lives in balance, not spreading ourselves too thin, not being at everyone else's beck and call 24/7. So that way we don't have any energy to carry us through into Taurus season. This is a time to really strike the right balance and find our footing and set the stage for moving forward so that way we're able to continue manifesting the things that we want to bring into our life. If we're running ourselves ragged and if we're running ourselves out of energy, it's just going to be impossible, like the bull is just going to be like totally out of control, angry and hangry and
Hmm.
just seeing red 24/7. It's not going to look good on anybody. So this is a time to really figure out, okay, like what can I realistically commit to? Where does my energy need to go? What are the things that are driving me? Is it enriching my life? Is it improving my life? Or is it dead weight that's going to really slow me down, you know? So I think that it's all about finding that perspective right now where, you know, a little bit of finding that balance is going to set the stage for the way that our lives are going to go moving forward, you know, and just putting in firm boundaries with people, learning how to express ourselves, learning when we need to put our foot down and how to do it in the right manner. You know, again, I think that this is going to be a time of significant change for people. You know, there may be certain people, places, things, situations, ideas that are just ridding themselves from your life that are going to kind of fall away. You know, and then in turn, there's going to be all these new people, places, things, ideas coming in, you know, so it's going to be, you know, that's an adjustment period in and of
It
itself.
is.
You know, anytime you're inviting new energy in, even if it's great, you know, it takes a little bit, you know, for you to really find your footing, you know, like we always joke about feeling like the wacky inflatable arm, you know, like
Totally.
it takes a little bit to like even keel yourself and level out. And I think that, you know, this is the time where that shift is going to be taking place and all for the better. It's like really figuring out how to eliminate some of the negatives from our lives and really just keep that positive on increase.
Right, which can be really hard to do sometimes. We understand, guys, we're not like angels or anything. Like, it's hard out there. We're with you. And one of the tricks that we really use to kind of help us is a lot of journaling or
Mhm.
texting your friend or just meditating. Whatever it is, we have certain topics that we move through to kind of help us gain focus. So I wrote down just three of them. Jem, I don't know if you have any, but I wrote down just a few to kind of share with everyone, which are really good writing prompts for this new moon. So I can definitely add this as a post, and if you're reading this in our blog, I'll have it in our blog. But these are some journal prompts that I think will really help you during this pink moon. So the first one that I really find a lot of value, and I use this one a lot, but how far have I come in this cycle? We all know that full moons are kind of the end of a cycle. So why don't we take a second and not look at what I accomplished or what I didn't get, but how far have you come? I love watching these videos because I go back and watch our previous one and I literally see how far that we've come, how much we've changed in our lives. It's really exciting to see. So go ahead, maybe look back on your Facebook posts and see what you're posting about at last full moon. Just see how far you've come and write that down. In writing that down, you'll kind of find the strengths and the not so good things. But that's a great topic to start writing about. Another one that I think is really important is what has been a trigger for me during this full moon. So really today up until the 19th and then about 5 days after the 19th, there's going to be some things that pop up for you. Surprising things. It was really like I had one of these pop up the other day where I was like, me? I'm triggered by that? I was really surprised. Really, really surprised. But I was like, okay, there's a little space for healing here. So anything that's kind of triggering you, write it down because those are places to focus on and to get some healing. I think another one that's really important, and Jen, this connects to what you were saying. Where am I wasting my energy and my resources? Where am I, what 20% or that's taking up 80% of my time, that whole rule, am I wasting my energy? Where do I just have these energy lakes? Where is kind of my motivation getting sapped away? Where's my inspiration getting sapped away from me? That's really something to kind of look at because that's what's holding you back, that piece of information. And then the final one, and Jem, this is just perfectly aligned with you, but what has come to an end? I think a lot of times we're afraid of the end. We don't want to talk about the end. We don't want things to be over, even shitty things. How many times have you had a horrible job and you get fired and you're angry because it's over, but you hated the job? I don't understand. But when things come over, we kind of get upset about it. But we should be celebrating those things. The end is part of the journey, as Iron Man says. Like, it's important to look at what the end, what's come up, what's at its end, and what can you kind of be thankful for or learn a lesson from and move on. So those are the 4 writing prompts that I have for you guys for this month. Jem, if you have anything to add, I'd love to hear what you have, but I think those are just perfect to start you guys writing.
Absolutely. And mine were very similar,
Good.
very, very, very similar. I mean, again, this is a full moon. So, if we like to think of sort of like the pregnant mama that's like about to give birth, what am I looking to give birth to? What am I looking to really create in my life? What areas of my life am I trying to invite more abundance and more prosperity into? Where are my goals and my dreams really at? Where is it that I could like use a little bit of that like fertility kind of energy in my
Mhm.
world? What am I really trying to bring to life? So that's a big one for me that I'm really focusing on right now. And again, in line with what you were saying with certain triggers and stuff, I've been definitely doing a lot of purging, like what am I trying to purge from my life right now? Like what are certain things that are coming up for healing right now that just really need to be let go of? I think right now everybody's feeling a lot of different shifts. There's a lot of different emotions that are kind of bubbling up to the surface that, maybe we thought were healed and, they needed a little bit more
A little
reflection,
more.
just a little bit more time. But I think this is something that, we should really be asking ourselves right now, or like, what are those areas of my life where I'm trying to let some things go, where I am trying to trim the fat, and I'm, if there's certain things that, like I've been trying to ask myself lately, anytime that I do have a trigger come up, like, why is that making me so angry? Why is that making me feel sad? Like, why did I just cry over thinking about that right now? Like, there are certain things that like just happen that it's like it's really important to get to the heart of the why, and like why that's making you feel a certain way. And once you know why it's making you feel a certain way, then that's when the real healing is able to take place, because then that's when we're really able to truly let it go because we understand it.
Right. And I think a lot of times these triggers are very simple. They come up and you're like, oh, but really when you get down to the root of it, it's really just a matter of someone else doing something good or successful or whatever. We're trained to kind of think that that takes away from us somehow. And I think a lot of the triggers that we're seeing now are triggers that can easily be squashed by just saying, you know what, they're amazing, and that no way takes away from my shining or me getting what I want. They got a new house. It's not taking away from my house. They got a promotion. It's not taking away from my promotion. It's not taking away from my dreams to see someone else be successful or thriving. And I really felt like a lot of the triggers that were happening to me, I was just sitting back like, girl, why? This is in no way affecting you and your situation, and this is just kind of a response that was trained and it's time to let it go. So I think that's a big one that's going to help you guys out this moon too. Like, just let it go. Let them do their thing. Celebrate them. It's not taking away from you in any way.
Absolutely. And I think a couple other good writing prompts that I think make sense for right now with this Libra energy is just what areas of my life am I seeking balance?
Mm-hmm.
What areas of my life sometimes, so often, I think we get wrapped up in things that we don't even realize that certain areas of our life are completely out of whack. We're so deep in it. We don't even realize it until after the fact when we are totally drained and exhausted and we're either feeling resentful or we're feeling like we just have nothing else to give, So I think now is like a really good time for reflection of, where can I balance the scales in my life? What areas like really kind of need to come back and I need to reel in that energy and bring it back to myself.
So, Jem, what are the good crystals for this moon? Because you are a crystal queen. And I know I have one, and I think it's probably different than all of you have. So, what crystals do you recommend?
So I've got a few going on right now. I even showed, I think yesterday in my video, my peach selenite.
Mm-hmm.
Selenite and desert rose is a form of selenite. They really, really go hand in hand with the moon. Selene is one of the moon goddesses, so in folklore. So I don't know, any kind of selenite always really just resonates with me during the moon cycles. I even brought my giant selenite wand.
It can fit in screen. Good.
I feel like Vanner White right now with this guy, but like it's just such great energy. I have that beautiful selenite tower that you got me that I have
Yeah.
right now with like my bracelets and rings charging on it. I
Hmm.
love to do that all the time. And that's one thing that I especially like to do during the moon cycles is, whatever I can kind of like pile either on top of my my selenite wand or my tower. It's a really nice way to cleanse jewelry during the moon
Hmm.
cycles, any kind of crystal jewelry. I'll even put my pendulum up there. I do absolutely love clear quartz for working with the moon cycles as well too. I mean, it's such a great amplifier to use with any other crystals, but it's such a powerful stone. I think that sometimes clear quartz gets a little bit of the shaft, like we always think of our
Yeah.
rose quartz and our smoky quartz and our amethyst and all that good stuff, and all that stuff is wonderful. But clear quartz on its own is just incredibly powerful
It
in
is.
terms of intuition and your inner knowing and really just getting in touch with yourself. So clear quartz is always one of my go-tos. I really love using my clear quartz pendulum during the moon cycles. And I couldn't just leave it at one wand. I had to bring in my smoky quartz wand
Ooh.
as well. I've just been feeling like I need a little extra cleansing lately, need to up the protection a little bit. And that's one of the things I really love about smoky quartz is it's so wonderful for protection, but it's really a great grounder as well
Hmm.
at this time. So I just feel like those are just really versatile crystals that you can use for anything. Those are like go-tos like selenite, smoky quartz, clear quartz, like everybody should have those. Like those are just stones that like you can use them for so many things. There's
Hmm.
so many incredible uses for them, but especially during the moon cycles, like selenite is so great for getting in touch with your dreams and just like your inner goals and your intuition and your inner knowing. And I don't know, it's just all that like mysterious, like
I love
moon
it.
kind of energy, that goddess energy.
I love it. I love selenite, and that's one of the ones that you can't get wet. So I know most
Mm.
people know that, but just so you know, don't get it wet because it's
Unless you
salt and
want
it
to have
disappears.
some like really expensive water, like
Yeah.
don't try to cleanse them that way. You can just let your stones bathe in the moonlight during a
Hmm.
full moon. That's a really, really great way to clean stones. That's one of my favorite ways to do it. I
Me
also
too.
like really creating moon water at the
Hmm.
full moon and the new moon too. So I have like a really cute little pitcher that was my mom's. Like it's like a little clay pot kind of pitcher, and I always fill that up with some water, and I put a stone or two in there. So either a clear quartz and an amethyst or rose quartz, whatever it is that I'm working on, especially during that moon cycle, or a piece of moonstone is always a really, really great
Yes,
way to go, of course.
I love moonstone. Well, thank you. That's awesome. I love all of those crystals a lot, and they're all really pretty inexpensive crystals. They're base level. You can even get those. You can get those on Amazon, but like any little store, a lot of the gift stores will have those types of crystals, which is nice because I know a lot of you don't have a lot of these stores near you, which is really sad. But those are great stones to start and absolute great for pretty much any crystal work that you're going to be doing.
Totally. Those are just go-tos that everybody should have in their collection, regardless of the moon cycle. There's
Yeah.
just a ton of uses for those crystals.
Definitely. Now, I want to talk to you guys a little bit about the angel that's going to be ruling this moon. I don't know. I've always had a very connected life to angels, and I just really, really like them. So I like to kind of share that with you guys. So the angel of this moon is, and I wrote it down, Asmodel. So this is a beautiful angel that's all about really that self-love and that beauty within. This spirit, usually portrayed as a girl, but sometimes portrayed as a guy, really doesn't matter, is all about beauty, whether it's beauty through music or beauty through art or beauty through food. But it's really about expressing beauty and finding it in those mundane things and letting that inspire you because there's nothing worse than working hard and kind of digging through life and not seeing the beauty in it, not getting inspired, not seeing hope, and not seeing the beauty in yourself to create the life in front of you. Like you said, Jem, with this new move, we're in kind of that pregnancy energy, but how often do we look at ourselves as these people giving birth to ideas or giving birth to opportunity? We never think of that. And that is something that we get to do all the time. And that's friggin' beautiful. That's awesome. That's something that we should be celebrating. And Asmodel really reminds us of the beauty there, that kind of gentle energy works perfect with Libra and kind of that balance because it's that very like gentle energy, but they are pushing us to really have that self-love and to find that beauty in us. Because no matter what you look like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're a girl or a guy. I know a lot of our guys out there don't feel beautiful, but you are in so many ways. Not are physically beautiful, but inside you are too. As more that provider or that masculine energy, that is a beautiful thing as well. It's not just feminine energy. So please consider that as you're moving through this moon, that anytime you kind of feel a little lost or don't quite know what to go or just need some support, call on Asmodel, get some of that beauty in your life and just feel it. Just kind of sit back, call it in, feel it kind of brush over you. And that's going to help you so much during this moon.
Awesome. I love working with angels.
Mhm.
It's just such a nice, easy way to invite some a little extra good energy in, you know?
And it's funny, it's one of those things that is totally mystical. You believe in like a winged angel coming down here talking to you, but it's like totally accepted. And obviously, it's because it's in the more common religions. They talk about angels a lot or prophets. So we accept it. But like angel fairy, kind of on the same level, but as far as mystic is concerned, but angels everyone accepts. So I think that one's a great one for you to call in energies that maybe you don't have a name for, where angels really embrace that energy. So I think it's a great one for everyone. Anyone who's just kind of starting with us, this is your first time watching us, or you're watching us a little bit and you're going a little bit further, dive into angels. We love them. We can talk about them forever, but they're a very, very safe energy to kind of help you through anything that you're trying to go through or have to go through.
Absolutely. And just a great way to call in a little extra protection.
Extra protection. Who doesn't need some extra protection? So I hear
Who
some
doesn't
cards
need
going on over there. I'm so excited. My cards have been crazy. So I'm really excited to see what's going on.
crazy?
Crazy. Girl.
Girl, and it's not just for me, it's for everybody. All the readings that I've been doing, it's just there is some wild stuff going on. Like people
There
are just like
is.
in it right now. People are like going for it. They're making these changes for themselves. They're standing up for themselves. They're, figuring out what they believe in and they're going
Yeah.
for it, man. Like they're not in that place of fear anymore. They're not in that
Right.
place where they're in their head or they're worrying about what their family is going to think or their friends are going to think or whatever. Like they're just kind of owning it and being unapologetically who they are and really figuring out what resonates with them and what feeds their soul. And it's really cool. It's really
It is.
interesting. And I mean, in certain ways, again, like it can be a little ugly in there, but you have to like look at the bigger picture of what it's
Mhm.
doing for you ultimately and like where it's going to shift things. And sometimes it's like we get so caught up in things changing and us like stepping out of our comfort zones that like we fail to see the bigger picture of how much more beautiful it's going to be on the other side.
It
Like you
is.
just have to embrace that adventurous Aries energy and just kind of go for it.
And a lot of you are reaching out, asking for readings and asking for a little bit more guidance under this moon. So please go ahead and send us a message on our Facebook page so that we can connect you to the page where you can order readings. You can order readings from Jem or from me, or we can even do both, like whatever. We know a lot of you are kind of seeking that extra help from us. So go ahead and send us a message and we'll be happy to connect you guys. Let us know that you saw it on here and we'll give you like a special discount price because we're that cool. But definitely reach out because I know there's a lot going on. So I saw you pulled some cards and I can't wait.
Guys,
A lot.
like so many jumped out, like, and they jumped out in threes. So I had six cards jump out all
Wow.
together. One pile of three jumped out together, and
Mm.
another pile of three jumped
Okay.
out together. And collectively, like, these cards just make so much sense and, like, just resonate on so many levels, I think, for what's going on in the collective right now. So, really intrigued and excited about this. So, the first card that we have that jumped out is this Three of Wands energy. So,
Mm.
wands are always that like that creative energy, it's like all about enterprise. It's all about kind of like doing it for yourself, making things happen. This is a really exciting time where this is that celebratory kind of stage that we're getting to where, we're kind of going to be able to see all of our ships rolling in. In the traditional decks, you usually see, a guy who's kind of like looking out to sea, and his ships are all about to come into port, like he is like that established merchant that he is just he's waiting because he knows that it's being delivered to him. And I think that that's the kind of energy that we all need to strive to be in all the time, is to really think about, okay, it's being delivered, or it's already been delivered. Thank you. Thank you for these blessings. If we can kind of trick our brains in that way, that's the key to manifesting, like when we're in this fear energy, this lack mentality, that's when we kind of drive that energy away that keeps this prosperity from reaching us, keeps these blessings from coming to fruition. But when we're able to, really kind of be ready to just like sit back, trust in the universe, which is sometimes easier said than done, but to really just be able to surrender to the process and go with the flow, and kind of surrender to divine timing, that, we can't have everything yesterday. We can't have everything exactly when we want it. We can't be impatient. Good things take time, and if you want it to happen the right way, you need to let things unfold naturally. You need to relinquish that fear, that need to control everything. And it doesn't mean that you're not putting the work in. It just means that you're not trying to cling to the outcome. You're not trying to force the outcome. You're open-minded. You're going to kind of see what comes in, and you're just trusting in the fact that it's all coming to fruition exactly the way that it's supposed to. And you're just kind of in it to win it. You're just, it's coming in. So you're cool, you're calm, you're collected, you're
Right.
waiting all those beautiful things to come in. And that doesn't mean to be in an energy of waiting. We still need to do the work, but it just means that we're trusting that, it's going to happen when it's supposed to happen, for the best possible results for everyone involved. So sometimes, we just need to have a little bit of trust. And if you're struggling with that, working with angels, like Mary was saying, can be a really great way to kind of get into that energy. Meditating can be, journaling can be, whatever it is that really kind of keeps you feeling cool, calm, and collected, where we're not frantically freaking out over the things that we feel like we need in the moment. We need to just take a deep breath and understand that it's all coming to us in good time. And because of that, we're like stepping into this super strong energy here, and this is just, this is a really old school deck where you can see that this guy is actually really placing a lot of force. But when you see it in other decks, it's typically a woman, and she's being really gentle about the way that she's coercing that lion to do what she wants. We don't have to use brute force to get exactly what we want, but we are kind of stepping into that warrior energy again. Aries is the warrior, like they are all about that fire, that strength, that courage, that bravery. And I think that that's what we're really embodying right now. And that's going to be one of the big major energies that kind of carries us through this full moon. So really exciting. I feel like we're finding our footing. We're figuring out who the fuck we are. Like, feeling really strong. We're feeling courageous. Like, we're
Hmm.
feeling like, maybe we're willing to take some risks that we were too afraid to take for so long. And that's a really powerful thing. We understand that we have the strength to tame a wild beast at this point. We're trusting ourselves that we have the ability to do it on us and us alone. So that's really exciting. And we're also coming into this beautiful King of Cups energy. So this is all about having emotions leveled out. This guy is typically, he's really established. He's got a wife and kids. He's thriving. He's able to offer things to people because his cup is full. He's able to share it with others because he's done the work for himself. He has allowed the focus to be on himself so that he is able to now provide for those that he loves. So I think just trying to, again, level things out and keep that perspective that when we fill our cup first, it really enables us to be able to share those beautiful blessings with everyone else. So it's not about being selfish. It's not about just pouring all of your energy into self-care and self-love. But like you said before, it's really about loving yourself and really loving yourself first, so that way you're able to better share that love with others. So that way you're better able to manage your emotions. So that way you're better able to crush your goals and be able to help provide for other people and to share some of this wealth because you've put yourself first and now you're able to give. We're not stretching our energy too thin anymore.
Hmm.
We're focusing everything inward, so that way we're able to then in turn share all of that beauty with others. So really, really exciting. So those are the first three cards that popped out, guys. So this is how they popped out in stages. So this is the first set of three. And the second set of three, I am just like literally blown away by. I'm actually going to show them together because I just think that like they're so powerful. I want to make sure I'm showing them in the right order. So we have the Empress, we have the Emperor, and we have the Fool. So
The
I
Emperor
mean,
and the Empress have showed up for me so many times in this last week. It's been crazy.
so many times. And I just think as a collective, I mean, whenever we talk about the Empress and the Emperor, we are talking about, the collective. We're talking about, this ascension journey that so many
Hmm.
people are on right now. This really embodies the divine feminine and the divine masculine. This is that king and queen energy. This is that balancing out of harmonious energy. We're coming into harmonious union within ourselves,
Hmm.
so that way, for many people, they're going to be able to attract their perfect counterpart. They're going to be able to attract their soul family. They're going to be able to attract the job of their dreams. They're going to be able to really have all of these beautiful blessings starting to roll in because they're feeling themselves. They're in that trust. They're in that inner knowing. They have been through it all. They're done with the fear and doubt. They're not a page anymore. They're not a knight anymore or a princess. Like they are fully in that royal king and queen energy, and they are just owning it. So this is all about, again, balance, Libra. Like we have both divine counterparts that popped out together. And the reason that they're able to come to fruition together like that is because of the Fool, is through taking a leap of faith.
Hmm.
In the traditional decks, you can see he's about to jump off a cliff.
Yeah.
He's far in his own
Usually has a
world.
dog with him though.
Usually, he does have man's best friend usually by his
He's all right.
side to try to like bail him out of that situation a little bit, but in the very best way. This is all about taking those risks. This is all about, trying to fulfill those dreams, to really tune into our heart's desire, to really tune into what's feeding our heart and soul, and areas that maybe we've been so far in our head, we've been so far in ego that we've been too afraid to take that risk. We've been too afraid to jump. Like maybe we've been too afraid to, tell somebody how we feel. And it doesn't have to mean romantically, but maybe there are certain things that we've just been kind of, I don't know, keeping ourselves stuck. We've been in our own way for so long. And now we're shedding all these layers and we're figuring out who we are and we're rising, we're up leveling on this ascension journey. And, these female and male counterparts are really coming into union. So this is just such beautiful energy for this moon. This is so exciting. And it's all about balance. I mean, how funny that it's like the cards popped out 3 and 3,
Right.
balance. You know, I mean, the Empress and the Emperor. I mean, come on, guys. Like, how much more do we have to say? Like, these are beautiful, beautiful cards, and this is what it's all about right now. It's really tending to yourself so that way you're able to invite all of this awesome energy and really harness it in the best way possible.
I love that reading. That was really fun.
That was exciting. Oh my
So
God. I
exciting.
literally got chills when the Empress and the Emperor all jumped out together. Like, that made my night, guys. I'm not even gonna lie.
So now I'm going to go ahead and follow that up with an oracle reading. So I'm going to use these battered oracle cards to kind of talk to you guys about mind, body, and soul, what you need during the full moon to help you realize all of your goals and where you're going. So the first one we're going to pick out is for the mind. So this is what your mind really needs. Oh, that was the card. Ah, look at this, the boy. So this
Aw.
card, I know, he's so cute. So this card has come up for a few times for us. And what this is really showing us is really, really having some fun in life. Having that childish wonder. You can see he's dressed up like a little captain. He's ready to go on an adventure. I can kind of pull it a little bit closer to you guys. You know, he has leaves all on his shirt, and there's all these other fun little characters around him. So he's very similar to the Fool card, as he's someone who's starting out on a journey. He's going somewhere, he's going on an adventure, and he's somewhat prepared. So as we're talking about these cards, this is where your mind needs to be. When you're thinking about going on this adventure and taking this risk that we obviously need to take, as the cards have told us, instead of being that logic, boring, adult ass self that we are most of the time, let's try being the boy a little bit. Let's try having a little bit of fun. Let's try just putting on a big fun hat and a big fun jacket, and let's just see where it takes us. You don't always have to be so serious. And I'm not saying, like, you know, go sign your name on the dotted line for something that's not achievable. Take an achievable risk. Take a calculated risk that you spent all this time kind of making the decision about, something that you're passionate about, something that you've researched a little bit about, something that you're prepared to take a risk, but then just friggin' take it. It is time. This is your sign. Take it. It's time to just have a little bit of fun in your mind. Just be the boy and know that you have support. You have this team over here. Look at this guy. He's watching out. He's not going to let crap happen to you. I promise you. There are people here who are there to support you, to make sure that you're protected in your fun little voyage that you're about to have. So in your mind, it's time to let go of the logic and the worry, take a little bit of risk, and have a childlike spirit in doing that. So that one's really fun. So now it's time to talk about our bodies. What does our bodies need? Waiting for a card to fall out, but these are just like going crazy right now, so I'm not sure what's gonna happen here. You want to talk. All right, so this one is prick up your ears. And this is a little bit hard, sorry, it's a little warped, so you can't quite see it. So in our bodies, this card is one of the messenger cards. This card is all about listening. As you can see, she has these really, really big kind of rabbit ears, and we can see some other rabbits behind her. And we all know that rabbits are attentive. You know, I have some in my front yard that live there, and every time I drive in, they just stop dead in my headlights, and then they bolt. That's what rabbits do. They're always listening for what's going on around them. And I think your bodies have messages for you that you're not really listening to. That's the honest truth. There's a message there. And I think, Jem, you really talked about this before, talking about protection. And that's what's really coming up for me, is that we're not protecting our physical or energetic bodies enough. And it's time to start listening to that. I had a few people talk to me on because we do every day, we do tarot lives, and we get to talk to you guys a little bit more in depth. And a few of you are talking about things that are happening for the first time. You know, you're hearing things for the first time, you're seeing things for the first time, you're connecting with your auras for the first time, you're discovering chakras. And when you open yourself up to this world, there's balance in this world. There's good in this world and there's bad in this world. And despite what everyone says, you can't be all love and light and nothing else, because that's not possible. We're human, we're both. So there's negative energy around as well. And it's nothing to be afraid of, but you do have to protect yourself. And there's going to be clues of when to protect yourself. Particularly me, I know when there's just too much going in my mind, I start getting really flustered. And this is how I feel. I feel like, oh my God, what am I supposed to do next? Where am I supposed to go? And I know that's a sign for me to ground myself. That's what I need to ground myself and take some time out. So there's going to be signs, and your body is going to communicate with you, and it's time to listen to those signs a little bit and hear what it has to say and take an opportunity to listen and to act. And if you guys need to know more about protection or anything like that, please reach out to us. We're happy to help and kind of answer those questions. But there's definitely a message from your body that you haven't been listening to, or maybe it's new and it's just time to kind of listen. Prick up those ears a little bit, guys. Pay attention to what's going on and act quickly. It's not something, you don't want to learn that you need to protect yourself from darker energy and then sit on that information for 2 months, because there's a lot more clearing that's need to be done. If you can kind of learn it early and be active and reactive quickly, you'll be in much better shape. So that's what our bodies need. And that's really going to help us kind of fend off a lot of that negativity. Jem, your cards, that 3 of the ships coming sailing and getting all this abundance, the only thing that can kill that is you doubting yourself, doubting that it's coming, not believing in yourself or trusting in the universe. And that can really pile up a lot of times. So listen so that you can get ahead of that and you can stop that so that you don't disturb all that beautiful things coming to you in this time. And then our last card, this is going to be for our soul or spirit, whatever you want to say. What kind of message that needs? Oh, you came flying out. Oh, this one's so cute. Bright spark. Let me get that closer for you guys. Look at her. Isn't she cute? This is really talking about just having a little bit of fun and just really engaging your spirit and sparking that beautiful part of your soul. I think this happens a lot, and I'm going to call it kind of spiritual fatigue. If I read one more article that's love and light, and I don't listen to that negative crap, and I just cut everyone out, and all these kind of really obnoxious tropes that just keep coming over and over again, I'm just over it at this point. And I feel like a lot of you are. And that's why you're here, because we're different. And that's why you guys want to connect with us. And this is really saying that it's time for you guys to find something that reinvigorates your spirit, reinvigorates your soul and your connection. Because nothing's worse than like feeling the same way over and over and over again. It's really funny. I was watching Dogma last night. I love that movie and I love Kevin Smith. And they were going over how just like in that movie, you know, she wasn't really engaged in the church anymore because she's just, what have you done for me lately? Basically is the story. And then she got smacked with what, you know, was coming. And your spirituality is the same. If you have the same practices and the same thing over and over and over again, guys, it gets a little stale. It really does. So let's go ahead and bring in a spark of excitement, a bright, beautiful spark. You know, she's tiny. She's a tiny little fairy. She's so cute. And there's not much going on. She's letting you know that it doesn't have to be this huge thing. You don't have to go to an ashram in India and hot meditate for 10 days. No, you can just watch a movie or a video on a new topic. You can learn about protection. You can learn about a new crystal, just something that gets you jazzed. It doesn't matter what it is. Maybe you just Google for 6 hours what a twin flame is and you're super excited about that. It doesn't matter. But there's something in here, that kind of spring awakening energy that just needs you to get excited again. Because when you get excited, you're back in the flow. And when you're flowing, then you're in that emperor and empress energy where you're just like in your power, your balance, you're taking names because you're excited and you're excited to move forward. It's also what's going to help you with that Fool card, with taking a little bit of risk. When you have deep connection and deep trust, you're willing to take risks. When I trust that the bungee cord is not going to snap, I'm willing to jump off that bridge. You know what I mean? Like, when you have trust, you're doing good. But how can you have trust in something you're not connected to? It's time to get a little bit of spark in there, get a little bit of excitement in there, get excited about it again. Maybe this is just having a conversation with someone. Just reinvigorate your soul. Get a little bit of more connection in there, get a little bit of a spark, and then this is going to turn into a spark of inspiration, a spark of creativity, and a spark that really helps you grow. But you have to kind of light the match first to get that spark.
I love that.
Oh,
Beautiful.
so cute. I love these cards.
So cute.
So did you want to do little fairy friends? You want to do top of the deck, bottom of the deck? I know that's another thing.
It is a thing, and you know I'm never going to say no.
No. And guys, thank you so much for joining us. We have so much fun doing this. Make sure you share this video. This video is going to be on YouTube for you guys to watch later. It's going to be here on Facebook, and it'll be also on our blog. And on the blog, we're going to have the video. We're going to have some information for you guys and some downloads as well. So make sure you go and check that out. Leave us comments. Let us know who you are and how this resonates with you, because we love connecting with you and we want to spend more time with you. And we got to get to know you.
It's the truth, man. We need to know. We need to know.
I need to know. Mark
I need to know. Sorry, guys. Little delirious at this point. Sometimes you just need to break into song a little.
Yeah. Yes, that's our authentic selves.
I'm just really excited about these cards that we have, guys. So I have the Knight of Wands. And then I have some Six of Cups going on. So again, we have that like balance number 6, that 3 and 3. Like we've got all this balanced energy, and this Knight of Wands for me is always that like fiery Aries energy that we're in right now of just like rushing head first, just like that energy, that activity. Like I'm ready to make moves, like balls to the wall. We don't want to be a bull in a china shop. Like we don't want to like rush so far head first that we have no real sense of control over what we're doing. But this Knight is passionate. This Knight is driven. This Knight knows what he wants. He's in touch with his goals. He knows what he wants for himself at this point. And again, just, stepping into that Empress energy, that Emperor energy. This is the guy who has taken the leap of faith, like he has taken the risk and he's just saying, fuck it, I'm going for it. This is what I want. I've been sitting on it for a while. I've been farting around, not really doing anything. Like, I'm going to take the risk and I'm going to see what happens, Like, and at the end of the day, he's going for it. He's owning it. He's passionate. He's excited and he's making moves. So, this kind of embodies that energy that we're really like working toward right now. So I feel like this is how we're going to thrive in this new or this full moon energy, guys.
Beautiful.
Gosh, oh, it's just like I want to say like the new moon because it's
Right.
new, but it's
Right.
new moon. But anyway, guys, this is a really, really great card. This is a card that's all about creativity, passion, and really just going out and setting out to really achieve our goals. Like this guy is like he's like the dragon slayer. He's like ready to slay his goals right now. Like he's gonna like
Also a
knock
good
the
band.
troll. Yes, he's gonna knock the troll over the head right now. Like he is just like he's ready. He's going for it. Whatever it is that he wants, he's gonna take it. So, this is that like passionate, fiery energy that we're talking about right now. So really, really exciting, guys. We also have again, we have this 6 of Cups energy. So again, we have this 3 and 3, this balance here. This is all about like that evening out of the scales, that evening out of prosperity. This is about figuring out what we want. This is about making the right choices. This is about cutting through illusions and really getting to the core of what we really want and what's going to really feed our soul. Again, cups are always about the emotions, guys, all about love, all about friendship, relationships, connection. This is a time for really getting to the core of all of that and really making the right choices. Again, making the right decisions, figuring out the right places to expel our energy, the right places to invest our emotions, and make sure that we haven't gotten wrapped up in things that we don't want to. We don't want to be rash. We don't want to be impulsive. We don't want to be too fiery. We want to be coming from a place of balance, even keeled, keeping those emotions in place. But we have all this beautiful energy that, we just have to tune into making the right decisions for ourselves. Again, this card I just pulled the other day as well, because this card is also all about nostalgia. It's all about, kind of reminiscing. It's about, reflecting on things from the past, sometimes revisiting things from the past, whether it be a friend, whether it be an old flame, whether it be just kind of circling back to a passion of ours that we kind of put on the back burner. This is, happy memories. This is things from childhood, from our youth. Again, we don't want to get sucked up in that youthful energy and kind of like lose sight. Like these 2 cards, there are negative sides to them as well.
Mm-hmm.
There's really beautiful sides to them, but we really want to focus on the good. We want to focus on, if there's, righting our wrongs. I pulled this card the other day from my other deck and, we're talking all about just, the little boy in the picture, he's like offering his flower to this little girl. He wants to give her an offer. He has a gift that he wants to give her. This is, about presents. This is about like new love. This is about, meeting somebody new or rekindling with an old friend or an old loved one. Whatever the case may be for you, there's just, this is a time really all good things. This is all about happy things right now. We don't want to get lost in nostalgia. We don't want to get lost in dwelling on the past. Again, we are just coming out of this Mercury retrograde shadow. So by the time the moon hits, we're out of the shadow. So, if there's been any question about letting certain people back into your life, you're going to have some clarity on whether it's going to make sense or not. But this is a time that, there's going to be so many powerful shifts. You might hear from somebody that you haven't in a really long time. Somebody might come out of the woodwork from your past, or there might be an offer of some sort that's going to be brought your way. Again, we had that King of Cups before offering his cup. We had the Empress and the Emperor, that divine masculine, divine feminine energy, which can mean a twin flame connection. This could be a really romantic sign for people too, where they're really figuring out either who their soul family is, who their soulmate is, really getting to the core of what really feeds our soul at the end of the day. So this is really exciting, guys. Really beautiful cards. Like, I mean, I don't know how much more proof we need that there's all of these beautiful things coming in. Just have to trust. We just have to do our part to really invite in that good energy and keep our vibration high. And if that means that we have to spend a little less time around certain people, or a little less time doing certain things that are no longer really serving us, if we need to cut down our hours of TV because we're just watching mindless trash, it can be little things. It doesn't have to be big life altering changes, just small little changes. We always talk about, what about Bob? Baby steps,
Baby steps.
baby steps out the door, like it doesn't have to mean, being like that Knight of Wands who is just ready to rush in and change everything. It doesn't have to be that. It can be small little steps, and usually slow and steady wins the race. So, guys, we might have no choice in this matter. There might be certain fated events that are going to happen at this point that really are going to give us that kick that just says, you know what, like, you've wanted it, the time is now, or maybe you've waited a little too long, and now we're going to have certain tower kind of moments, because upheaval is what's going to create that rebirth, create that resurrection. So really beautiful cards, guys. Just embrace it. Don't fear the change. Don't fear all these shifts. Really embrace them with open arms and try to understand how much good there's going to be on the other side of them.
There really is. And you can see from all the cards, all that we've been telling you, you're almost there. It consistently reminds me, I'm sure everyone has seen this. There is the first woman that ever won the Ironman triathlon. And the last like mile or whatever, she's like literally crawling on the ground when she's supposed to be running. Her body has given up on her and she is just army crawling to the finish line. That can be what it feels like a little bit. We are so close and there's just a little bit more to do. So just have some faith, know that it's coming. Don't think about what's on the burners. Don't think what's working. Think about how far you've come. Think about all the beauty in your life, and that will make everything come that much faster. And don't be scared. Like Jen said, change is good. I'm a Capricorn. I'm very afraid of change, and I'm very afraid of sudden things. So I spend a lot of my time making little baby steps and researching until I'm dead to know what could happen and being prepared for all of those situations. So giant things don't come smacking me. And that feels really good for me. So get prepared. Know what it's like to be single again. What's kind of out there. Know what it's like to start investing on money that you've actually been successful with. Know what it's like to be in the new jobs that you're looking into. Start researching a little bit so that if there is any big things that happen, you're completely prepared. That always helps me. So just a little tidbit for you guys. But this moon is all about just healing what needs to be healed, resting for a second, and then letting all of this kick-ass stuff come in. Because it's coming in. It's pretty much always here. You just got to keep the faith for just a little bit longer, and then all your dreams are coming true. And who doesn't want that reading? This has been wonderful. I know it's the information you guys need. Keep the faith. We're almost there. We're about to kick ass. Just give it a little bit longer.
Absolutely, guys. Don't burn out right at the finish line, like you're right there. Just hang in there. And if that means that you have to reel it in a little bit, if that means that you need to do a little bit of rest and reflection this
Yes.
week, take that time, get ready, prepare yourself, like you said, for all of these shifts, take a little time to kind of gain the perspective that you need to be prepared. I'm an Aquarius, so I can sometimes, I'm a little flighty. I'm an air sign, like I can be a little bit ADD. I can be a little bit of a procrastinator. I can say like, "Oh, I've got all this time. I've got all this time. I'm going to be okay." And then the next thing I know, I'm like, "Holy shit, I'm out of time." Like, and then I'm forced to really just kind of like fly by the seat of my pants and be like that Knight of Wands that just has to like rush headfirst in and kind of figure it all out. So again, guys, like find your footing, find your balance at this new moon, It's okay like for slow and steady to win the race. It's okay that it's not all happening right now or that it didn't happen yesterday. It wasn't supposed to.
Mhm.
Again, we always talk about this, enjoying the journey, enjoy it. Don't focus so much on the destination. Focus so much on where you're trying to go. Focus on your frustration or your feelings of lack that you're not there yet. Again, like Mary said, just give yourself that pat on the back. Take a step back for a second and gain that perspective of how far you've come, and it's going to seem a little bit less scary that you just have that much more left to go. You just like, even if you're holding on by a thread, just hold on, guys. Like, hold on for dear life because it's going to be worth it on
It
so
is.
many levels.
I'm so excited for what's to come, guys. It's going to be beautiful, beautiful energy. So if you need some support, definitely reach out. Tuesdays, we do live tarot readings on our Facebook page. So join us to get information on the energy for that week. And then daily, we do daily tarot readings on our Facebook page live for you guys as well. So you can find out what's going. So if you just listen to us consistently, you have everything made. What more could you want? But we'll guide you through the whole process. We'll help you kind of go through everything. Dive in there, ask us questions, get to know us, spend some time with us. This is in your hands. So if you want to be successful and you want to be part of the Mystic Mages, join in, let us know who you are, share your information with us, and let's all grow together. We love you guys so much. I'm so excited for this. And Jem, I can't wait to see what's going to happen because I even know between us and what's going on with the mages, big things, huge things,
It's going to be huge.
huge.
Guys, thank you so much for joining in with us tonight. We're really excited about this moon, and I hope that you guys are too. I hope that this was helpful and informative, and that you guys feel a little bit more well equipped as far as how to approach these energies, how to digest these energies. And I hope that you guys are just feeling really super excited and hopeful for what's to come. This is a time to really look forward with hopeful eyes. So get ready, guys. It's all about to come in.
It is. All right, guys, we'll talk to you soon. Bye bye.
Bye, guys. Love you. Have a great night.